What is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? Once again, it is your man, Jelani JB Bodie, and this is the Wait a Minute show. So welcome to people who are returning, and welcome to anybody that might be seeing this for the first time. Man, have a seat, get comfortable, and chill with your boy. This is a sports show, if you haven't figured it out just yet. But again, thank you for tuning in. I am Jelani JB Bodie. I got my man behind the boards, Mo. He'll be in here in just a moment. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about. But before we do all of that, got to get some stuff out of the way as usual. You know how this YouTube thing go. That I need you to subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe to the channel, hit that button, make sure you turn on your notifications so you'll be notified anytime something new drops. And make comments and all that good stuff, man. We appreciate, all of it. People be, trolling us, people be doing, good thumbs up, all that stuff. We take all of it. We appreciate it. That means you're listening. So I told you, right? So I got my man Big Mo running in the background. Mo, how are you doing today, sir?
Listen, I'm still icing my knees from dancing during the halftime show. So you gotta be patient with me. Gotta be patient with me. We'll be all right.
That sound like maybe some over 40 stuff,
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah, exactly.
Possibly. But
exactly.
yeah. We're gonna get into that and a lot more. We're gonna talk about we talked about the trade, but we'll talk about some other things that has transpired since the trade of the Luka and AD stuff. And we got some other stuff you don't want to miss out on at the end. So make sure don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. But we're going to start this thing with what everybody has been talking about, what everybody watched, and that was Super Bowl 59. Super Bowl licks, as some people call it. I can thoroughly say I'm disappointed. Now, that's just me being selfish, because if I was an Eagles fan, maybe a Bills fan, maybe, I don't know, Raiders fan, something like that, it's just like, yeah. But I was not wanting to stay up past my bedtime to watch a mangling of the Kansas City Chiefs. But that's what we actually got, 40-22. You saw that on there. But the Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl 59 champs in a convincing fashion. So now look, if you watched the previous episode, if you didn't, go back, watch it. I did pick, the Philadelphia Eagles to win this, but I did not foresee how they would win. I didn't foresee them winning it this way. And what I'm going to say watching this game is that it got, started off slow, but it picked up, obviously, with the turnovers, penalties, and all that stuff. But that wasn't the big thing. The big thing about this is how the Philadelphia Eagles dominated up front on their defensive line. They talked about it in the broadcast, Tom Brady and them, and the number was 0, maybe it's 2. Nick Bond, he don't know what it actually was, but it wasn't that much. Philadelphia didn't blitz at all. So this is crazy that how the game played out was just because you're front four. And you hear me talk about this all the time, ladies and gentlemen. You hear me talk about front, getting home, getting to the quarterback, and how it can affect the game. And this is a prime example of what we saw yesterday in that game. And they were wreaking havoc on that offensive line for Kansas City. And this is crazy. As crazy as this about to sound, Mo, crazy as this about to sound, and you tell me if I'm tripping, Mo, they put it on Pat Mahomes to beat them. That might be crazy to say, but that's what I took from this game, because we've talked about it all year about how their defense has stepped up, how Pat Mahomes hasn't had to be that Pat Mahomes, of the past, and that their defense stepped up. But when it got into a situation where it was on Pat Mahomes, and he even said it, he got to, play better. He even alluded to it, that he didn't play as well as he should, even during the season. Pat Mahomes was over there. Normally, I'm used to him when he's moving around in the pocket. He's improvising, to play. He was literally running for his life last night, Mo. You tell me if you saw something different, or if I'm tripping, on that part. But what I saw was a man said, "We're in trouble," and I'm going to have to go left, go right, go up, go down. I mean, he was trying to do everything he could because he knew he couldn't depend on that offensive line. They didn't have it last night.
Listen, yeah, you saw him running around for his life all night long. What was crazy to me was, look at the stat line, right? Travis Kelce, receiving yards, 39. What's more crazy? Travis Kelce having 39 receiving yards or Saquon Barkley having 57 rushing yards? That was crazy to me.
I'm going to say, and the only reason I'm saying Travis is because you heard me I said this, that Saquon didn't have to have this magical game, for
You're
them
the
to
only
win.
one that said it, and I disagreed with you. I remember disagreeing with you. I was wrong. I remember disagreeing with you.
I wasn't going to say that, but yeah, you disagreed with me, on that. And it was a full team effort. But yeah, Travis Kelce, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, Mo.
No, you're good. You're good. Because if I'm looking at the stat line and I'm seeing, okay, Jalen Hurts at 221 yards, I can live with that. No way you would have told me this score would be 22-40 with 57 rushing yards from Saquon. I wouldn't have believed that. I wouldn't have believed it. And I'm watching the game and I'm like, either Philly is that good or Kansas City is playing the worst game that we've ever seen them play in the playoffs. And maybe it was both.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. I think it was a combination of both. Because again, that defensive front was playing lights out. They were giving the offensive line the business. But here's what I'm going to say, with Saquon, he was able to just keep them honest. Keep them honest because you couldn't we already knew they were going to plan to stop Saquon. And I talked about AJ Brown and I talked about Devontae Smith. Obviously everybody know I'm a Lions fan, but I'm like, if I got those two, let's go. Let's go. And I got Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Hurts had over 50 yards rushing himself. So I just think Saquon kept that defense honest where they couldn't do the things that they wanted to do. And then obviously we saw what happened on the defensive end of putting, pressure on them and pressuring Kansas City into making mistakes. And then they working with a short field. You got DeJon Cooper with the pick 6. You got Bond with the pick. I think somebody else got the pick, but they wreaking havoc, 6 sacks. They controlled the time of possession. I mean, going into halftime, I think Kansas City offense was under 50 yards, if I'm correct. So they Philadelphia did what other teams couldn't do. And they exposed them.
They made it
They
look
exposed
easy.
them. And now, here's the thing. When I say they exposed them, I don't want other teams thinking, yeah, we're going to do the same thing. Nah, you don't got what they got up front in Philadelphia.
No.
So unless you're going to trade for all those guys, don't think you're just going to roll in there and do what they did. But it was crazy. It was just it was a little sad. Again, I'm being selfish because I'm like, at halftime, I'm like, this over, right? I know Pat Mahomes is really good, but he's not that good, and he wasn't playing that good to bring them back in that game. So it was just a little disappointing to watch that. But Mo, here's what I want. People can't wait. Because the Kansas City Chiefs, everybody, got this thing for them. They didn't want the three-peat and everything. And they said these, ain't loyal, or these folks ain't loyal. And they are not. The trolls were out. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the type of stuff people are putting up, Mo. Show them what this had to be just in queue. No. No, this is the KC that showed up against the Eagles. No,
man, come on, man.
We're not doing that.
I'm telling you, but you know what though? I'm laughing at it, and I'm like, that's what we saw. Look, man, Pat Mahomes looked confused. Travis Kelce looked out of shape, and the rest of the team almost looked scared. And that's what they looked like. Look at him.
They were shell shocked. But And the reason I'm saying no, Mo, is because, like you just said,
Ah, man.
it's wrong, but it's so spot on. what,
Hey,
what
it's
happened
accurate. It
last
won't get
night?
more accurate than this, man. It won't get more
Yes,
accurate than this. That's them in the locker room. That's how they looking in the locker room, right? Looking at each other like that right there.
I can't stand you, internet. I can't stand
Inter-
you.
hey, the internet in Vegas never lost. Ever.
Never
They don't
loses.
lose. They don't lose.
Oh
And
my
we're gonna leave this up for the
God.
rest of the show.
You know what? It's gonna be back before the end of the show, but
Hot
we'll never
Almighty.
get through it if it's sit there. So we're gonna get
Hot
rid of
Almighty. All
it
right, all
for
right,
right
all right, all
now.
right.
But also, look, going forward, for both teams, right, Mo? What is this, to you? What does this mean, kind of for both Kansas City and the Philadelphia Eagles, and for the soon future? I'll say soon future.
Right. For Philadelphia, I'll say this. Right now, it's a clear message sent to, of course, Dallas and the up and coming Washington Commanders, who I said just yesterday that they about to really just put some things together and make a run for that division. And Philly just said, listen, y'all got a ways to go. Y'all got a ways to
Yeah.
go. This is a problem, and it's gonna be a problem for a while. I mean, you got that young defense that your entire defensive roster from Georgia, they gonna be around for a while. I mean, it's
Wow.
and Jalen Hurts is probably gonna get better, right?
Yes, that's the scary
so
part.
so yeah, I think the Eagles is here to stay for a little while. Kansas City, I mean, let's not jump the gun and be prisoners of the moment. Kansas City will be fine. They'll bounce back. Clearly, they have some things that they need to address. And I'm impressed with their run, their rush defense. I think they kind of, did all that they could do.
Yeah.
So, I don't think there's nothing to address from that perspective. But I think they'll be around for a while. But I think this right here may reignite them and just cause them to refocus.
So
Kansas
you
City is
you
still
said
Kansas City.
yeah, you said something that stuck out to me when you're talking about the prisoner of the moment. So that's what I want to say about Philadelphia. Let's not be a prisoner of the moment. Um, Even though, I mean, right here on it, when it was asked of me, when my Lions was winning games and everything, who was the team that I worried about most? And the first team I said was the Philadelphia
Hmm.
Eagles, right? Obviously, you see why. I do think they're set up because they have such young talent, and they're going to be still operating on, some rookie deals and everything. And Sirianni, I think, is going to have he's going to be replacing his OC, because I firmly believe Kellen Moore is gone. But they got the formula, they got the
Right.
pieces, and the nucleus is going to be back. So right now, it's Philly to beat, but I'm not. People are already trying to say, could they be a dynasty? Let's stop the brakes. Let's let them defend the title, and then we'll see
Right.
what happens. Because what happens one year is totally different because you got turnover. You're gonna have different teams, but they have definitely announced that they are here, and you have to be
You got to
aware
take it
and
serious.
say, yeah, you got to be taken serious and see them. For Kansas City, yeah, I'm with you, but I'm going to take a step back and say that they do regress a little bit, right? Because I didn't have Kansas City in the Super Bowl. I thought they were going to get beat at the latest the AFC Championship game because I really thought the Baltimore Ravens was going to make it, to the Super Bowl. But I will say with Kansas City, as far as like what I mean by taking a step back, and they'll be paying attention because they're the champs. They can beat most of the teams that's out there in the NFL. The tweaking and the adjustments that they're going to make is going to be basically for the Philadelphia Eagles. It's like whatever mode whatever things we're gonna do, it's gonna be geared towards the Philadelphia Eagles because that's who
Hmm.
we probably gonna see, or someone of that same magnitude, or of likeness. So, but I just say I think they take a step back because I said this about who was that? I was saying about Kansas City. Like it takes a toll. Unfortunately, I was saying that about your 49ers, is that it takes a toll on you to play all those games over and over. You're always next to last or the last
Right.
person playing. So that just takes a toll. on the team. So I could see them taking a step back, regroup, and they'll be back because Pat Mahomes is still, young and they can get guys. And as long as Andy Reid's not leaving, they'll do it. But going into next year, I don't, I could see them regressing, still making the playoffs, but just to put it, to have a dominant performance or a dominant season, kind of what they had, this past year, I don't think that's going to happen, but they don't need it to happen. They just need to get to the playoffs and win at this point where they're at. They're just like, we just need to win Super Bowls. We ain't worried about all that other stuff.
Yeah, they got to get there
Uh,
and win. But I think look at the AFC. I mean, you look at teams that
Tough.
they went through, right?
Mhm.
Baltimore, is Derrick Henry going to be the same Derrick Henry next year? I don't think we expected him to be that Derrick Henry this year. But again, Baltimore is probably the first team that come to mind when you think about teams that are a threat to Kansas City. But let's not forget about Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. I mean, just won the
Mhm.
award for comeback player of the year, and I think he's looking around and he just struck me as the type of player that, listen, y'all forgot about me. I got to remind you. And you look at Buffalo, and is Buffalo ever going to get over the Kansas City hump? Is it ever going to happen for them? And I think a lot
Yeah.
of us picked them to win. I had them winning the Super Bowl this year. But, I mean, they got to make a lot of changes too, man. So that's why I say Kansas City, I think they'll
Yeah.
be right back. And, Travis Kelce, get in the gym, get back in shape. You look sloppy to me, but maybe it was just me. Maybe
I
it was
don't think
just me.
he's sloppy. I just think he's older, bro. He's just
Yeah,
older.
yeah. Well, you got to do what you got to do if you want to do it again. Get back out there
You
because
I'm gonna use another KC tight end. Just happened to land here in Atlanta. Tony Gonzalez, when he was in KC versus what he looked like when he was in Atlanta, he
hmm
wasn't out of shape. He was just older. It was just like,
yeah.
yo, I still can ball. It's just I'm not finna do two a days or whatever. I don't need to do
Listen,
that. You know?
I'm not saying that he Mike Tyson fighting Jake Paul, but he
Oh.
just kind of looked. Yeah, I mean, you saw it. You watched the game.
So so
He
basically
almost looked disengaged. He looked frustrated that I can't do it.
so you
But
trying to say Travis Kelce looked like KC, playing like KC.
man, listen, I'm not saying that this is what we're seeing right here, man. All I'm saying is, Travis, bro, you had your fun. You had the Swifty Bowl. I don't even think we saw Taylor Swift last night, but
Once, once I think she got
she
booed or
showed
something.
up.
Yeah, she showed up.
All right,
Crazy.
but yeah, Philly is here to stay. I think Kansas City will be fine, but I'm curious to see what they look like next year.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Curiosity. I want to ask you a question as well.
Okay.
And we got the Super Bowl. Obviously, we got what played out and everything, but everybody always talk about the halftime show. So I
Oh,
know that's I know that's something that you text me and you. So I'll let your thoughts on a halftime show and
let
Kendrick
me say
Lamar.
this about the halftime show. First of all, I've been seeing a lot of Kendrick hate on the
Yes.
internet. I've been seeing a
Yes.
whole lot of Kendrick hate, right?
Yes.
If you're not a Kendrick Lamar fan, if you haven't followed his career, maybe you wouldn't have understood what happened last night. But for a fan of hip hop, for a fan of Kendrick Lamar, this was one of the greatest halftime shows I've ever seen, in my opinion. I mean, and it said so much. I'm not gonna dig too deep into it. We're just gonna stick on the
Mhm.
halftime show. It was dope. I thought it was dope. It was everything that you wanted from a halftime show. If you are a hip hop fan and you watch football, it was everything you wanted. You know, Samuel Jackson came out, and I thought that was super dope. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Serena, I mean, listen, she wanted the best to do the crip walk. I'm
Yeah.
not going no Karina. I'm not going to take no Serena shots. I didn't recognize her. Let me just say that. At
Oh
first, I didn't
wow.
recognize it, but it was just dope, man. It was
Shame
dope.
on you.
That's another
Shame on you.
podcast, bro. I got a lot of questions, but Kendrick Lamar, the way he did Not Like Us, he teased us with it, and then he came out with it, and then when he said his name and he looked right into the camera and said it, and then you saw the game over right at the end of the performance. Hey, man, this
And
dude is a mad scientist, bro.
and
Mad
so
scientist. I loved it.
you touched on a lot of stuff that I was gonna say. And
Okay.
I come from the side of I haven't followed Kendrick. like that. Of course, I know who Kendrick Lamar is. The Be Humble and all those songs. Yeah, he got
Mhm.
bangers out there. I know that he does. Um, but yeah, I mean, like people act as if he went out there and he mumble rapped and he would
Right.
and he went, like it was just crazy, right? So one of the things you said it, Samuel Jackson being anytime you can get Samuel Jackson on something because the dude is busy.
Yeah.
So anytime you can get Samuel Jackson, seeing Serena, that was cool. I don't know if a lot of people peeped out. I saw Keita the Great. I don't know if a lot of people know who that is.
Mhm.
He danced.
Yeah.
He was out there dancing. So I thought that was cool. Uh, to me, probably the coolest thing, and like you said, the game over and all that stuff, and him looking in the camera and teasing, and a little bit happened what I thought was gonna happen when that A minor popped up.
Yep.
You heard the stadium,
Yep.
yell it out. So yeah, I just think it is, some folks that maybe not just really follow him and don't totally understand, everything
Mhm.
about it. But one of the most gangster thing that I saw was at the very beginning when they opened the car door, and I was like, "Okay, 2, 3, 5, 8,
Yeah. Yeah,
10."
like,
I'm
almost
like,
like the
"Wait a minute."
circus clowns.
Yeah, and it was just like folks just kept getting out, and I was like, "Oh, that's
This
that." I was like,
whole
"That's dope."
every dancer came out of I mean, it was dope, man. It
Yeah,
was super dope, man. And I
guys
mean,
on the
shout out to
street. I don't know
DJ
if you noticed
Mustard.
the guys on the street lights. Did you
Yeah,
see
hanging
that?
up there on the street lights. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a reference to the All Right video. I don't know if you ever seen that video. His video for
Mm,
the song All Right when they were on the
okay.
on the lamppost. But yeah,
See, that's
yeah.
yeah. So I just think it's
It was a
stuff
lot
that
of little
you
nuggets in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you can learn. And we were talking about who was gonna, be on there. They only had SZA, which I didn't have a
Mhm.
problem, with that. I just had a question. I asked my daughter this. Her answer was yes, because I was like, I don't know for sure. And I'm not, and at no way am I trying to criticize SZA or anything like that. So SZA fans don't
Okay.
come for me. Is
Be
that I
careful.
was like, is she lip singing? Was she lip singing?
No, she wasn't lip
Okay.
syncing. I mean, so she
Okay.
when they did Luther and they did All the Stars, you could tell by how the riffs went, right? I'm them
Okay.
two of my favorite songs by Kendrick and yeah, I mean, if she was lip singing, then it would have been strictly based on the record's performance, and she
Okay.
didn't do that.
I
Dope.
just had a question. It was
SZA
just a
is super
question.
dope,
So
man. I think she
yeah,
underrated, man. I think she's super talented, and she don't get a lot of credit for it because the era that she comes out in. But
yeah, because you
she
got a
been
lot
with
of you got
Kendrick forever, and their
yeah, you
relationship is
got a
dope.
lot of other folks that she dealing with
Hmm.
her and is it LMA? Is it?
LMA, yeah,
Yeah,
LMA, Summer Walker. She
LMA.
from she from that era. But SZA
Yeah,
is dope.
yeah,
She's
she
dope, man.
is.
She's starting to get the love
She
that she deserved too.
Summer Walker, she's
Hmm.
very talented, and
Yeah.
sometimes that may get lost. But I enjoyed the halftime show. I enjoyed SZA, I enjoyed Kendrick, I enjoyed the dancers, I enjoyed Samuel. Yeah, Serena out there. I was like, wow, they even got Serena,
Hmm.
out there. So that was yeah, it was a good performance. Is it an all-time great? No, I wouldn't put it up there as an all-time great, but it was very entertaining because I've seen other shows that was like, I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna go get something to eat," you know?
Yeah.
So
It was
and
one
I
of my
didn't leave.
personal favorites.
Yeah,
It's up there. It's one of my
it was
personal
good.
favorites.
It was good, and he put on a good performance. I enjoyed it. So, I don't know why people don't like it, but
Yeah,
it is.
I don't know, and I feel like people felt that Lil Wayne would be more comprehensible than Kendrick, and that's crazy to me. And shout out to Lil Wayne. I love Lil Wayne. It would have been dope to see
Mhm.
him out there, but it was Kendrick's moment, man.
Yeah, it was. It was. Speaking of moments, we got some moments in the NBA. So we know the Luka AD trade, went through. Let's talk about the future on both teams. But we're going to talk about the Lakers and we're going to talk about the Mavs as well. So how does this play out? Right now, it's not looking too great for the Mavs because it's like you can't make this stuff up. AD gets there and then he gets hurt. Like how, Sway? Like, the timing, of it. So, he's gonna be out for a little bit. Obviously, Luka is in, with the Lakers, and so let me go back to the Mavs, right? Mavs fans are upset, and I'm gonna equate this, or it's like Ryan Day and Ohio State. Like the only way that you're gonna make this go away is you have to win a championship. There ain't no, we got back to the finals or anything like that. You have to win a championship because they will never let this die. And from what I'm seeing and hearing, it doesn't seem like this is all just Nico Harrison, which is not, because Nico didn't just make this trade and then the owners was like, "Oh, what? No, not somebody of Luka's stature. You didn't." So, the future for the Mavs, let me just say this, is that it is it is going to be highly stressful. You have put the weight of the world on your back. There is no just watch and wait and see. These Mavs fans are going to want, just the basketball world, they're going to want to see results. The minute that they slip up or whatever, everybody's going to be like, "See, that's what I told you," right? So they 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 have to win. They have to me, they have to win a championship in the next 2 years for this to work, because Kyrie will be a little bit older, Clay will be a little bit older, AD of course will be a little bit older. Um, you got to. Lakers, they're talking about Luka. It's not even a guarantee that Luka is going to stay in LA, which I think over time, if he has some doubts, that's gonna change, especially being in LA and you're about to take over the franchise. And the one good thing is that you don't have to take over a franchise and follow somebody like Kobe Bryant, who won, what, 5 championships? Correct me if I'm wrong,
Correct.
Mo, on that. Um, LeBron won one in LA. He's not homegrown and all that stuff. Laker fans appreciate him. But Luca, I think, is going to be able to come in and take over that franchise if he so chooses. He's going to love, how LA treats him. I'm sure they're going to treat him very, very well. We all know that, the biggest thing with Luca is like defense, with what they talked about, letting his emotions to get the best of him and everything. But one thing that Luka, I think, will have in LA that he did not have in Dallas is just the city. Um, you're going to be able to attract talent just because of the city. And Dallas is not a bad place to be at, but it's not LA, is what I'm getting at. It's not what LA offers on and off the court when you're playing for the Lakers and everything. So I said it before, Nico Harrison, this took some onions. This could be one of the biggest, blunders that happened, or this could be one of the most genius things that happened. Mo said it before. I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment, though, right? We're only a week, not even a week, maybe 2 weeks. I mean, we're not even a week into this thing. So let's give it some time and everything. Obviously, it's not very popular. This is stuff that you just don't normally do. Myself, I wouldn't have done it. I'm just saying, I don't think I had the onions to say, let's get rid of Luca. Unless the owner is just saying, let's get rid of Luca, make it happen, Jelani, or we're going to get rid of you. Then that's different. Luca, you got to go, buddy. So, but I don't think that's what, the situation is. And this could be, and if it goes wrong, here's the other thing that I want to say. If it goes wrong in the Mavs, this is just a horrible situation. I know Nico Harrison made the trade and all that stuff. Yes, he's going to get blamed for it, and you do deserve blame. But do not reserve all that smoke just for him, because them owners, they signed off on this as well, and they wanted Luka gone as well. So that's all I'm saying, on it. Let's move into back to football, but Hall of Fame, right? Hall of Fame was announced, and somebody was left off the ballot, or they were on the ballot, but they were left off of being inducted into the Hall of Fame, which was Eli Manning, right? Manning is football royalty. And so you had this debate where everybody was like, should Eli have been on there? Should he have not been on there? Or got in, I should say. Should he have got in first ballot? Should he have not gotten in first ballot? Mo, I'll ask you your thoughts. I'll tell you my thoughts now. Is that no, hell no. See, no, he shouldn't have got in, Not on first. Yeah, he will eventually get in, but a first ballot Hall of Fame. Here's it because there's that Al Bundy effect, and this is no disrespect to Eli, because I like Eli. I like what he's done. In the market in which he had to operate. This is that Al Bundy effect that I say. Eli's claim to fame is beating Tom Brady twice, winning 2 Super Bowls. That's going to get you just recognition in itself. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when we're talking about a first ballot Hall of Famer, I just think there's more that needs to be added to someone's resume. Um, if you have the Super Bowls, you got to have more added to your resume to be that first ballot, because we've seen other first ballots that didn't even get to a Super Bowl. And they are creme de la creme. Like their resume has to be crisp to be a first ballot, and you didn't even sniff the Super Bowl. So that's all I'm saying. Eli will get in, but it just I don't see why everybody tripping that he didn't get in, or whoever is tripping. Why you tripping because he didn't get in first ballot?
I think timing bad for him. I don't know why I've always wanted to defend Eli with the Hall of Fame conversation, but I do think timing kind of played a factor in this, because before you could say Eli's the only one that beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Tom Brady, the quarterback that we consider to be the GOAT, right? But
Right.
now when it's time for him to get in, all of a sudden here come Pat Mahomes winning Super Bowls left and right. And now the GOAT conversation is debatable, which weakens your argument as, a first ballot Hall of Famer, right? People forget how well Eli played in these Super Bowls, right? The boy had great performances in the Super Bowl, but that should claim to fame, like you said. So it's like, beyond that, if you erase the Super Bowl, then who is Eli Manning? I mean, Sam Darnold, Kirk Cousins, you know, but I don't know. I can't argue with it. No, you can't get in on the first ballot. You just can't.
Let me do let me do my Stephen A. You know how you always do his nose.
All right.
Stephen A. brought up a really good line that I think attaches to what we're talking about as well. He went through the stats of Kurt Warner, and
Okay.
he was just saying that he don't think anyone would put Eli before Kurt Warner. And he said it took Kurt Warner his 3rd year to get in. So if Kurt Warner got to wait 3 years, we're putting way too much value on beating Brady. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
eh, beating Brady is it says something, but Nick Foles beat Brady as well. So
Right.
you can't just heavily weigh that and just put that on it. So yeah, I'm like, no,
Yeah.
no,
That's why.
he
That's
should.
why I say Timon got him. I mean, if he would have beat him on his way in his last season, or next to last season or whatever, he may have had a better chance, because
Maybe.
now it's in that moment. It's recent history. You beat Tom Brady a long time ago, bro. And
Yeah.
yeah, do you think he'll ever get in?
Oh yeah. Oh
Think
yeah.
he'll get
He'll
in?
definitely get in.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Two-time Super Bowl champion. How you keep him out?
Yeah. That'll definitely, get him in at some point. It was just to me just the first ballot thing. It's like we don't have to be in a rush to get every Manning, an accolade, right? They have enough
Yeah,
as it is. I mean, because Eli never won MVP, like regular season. I think he went to the Pro Bowl 4 out of
yeah,
the I think 15, 16 years that he was, in the league. So that's what I'm just saying. Like he has good stuff. Don't get me wrong. It's hard to do to accomplish the things that Eli did.
right.
It's just not as far as like how we do things on the first ballot or how they do things on the first ballot. That just wasn't first ballot worthy, but he
Yeah.
still to me is Hall of Fame worthy.
Well, hopefully when he get in, he won't roll up there in a wheelchair with his grandkids in the
Nah,
audience. You know,
nah, that ain't gonna
don't do him
that
like
ain't
that.
gonna
Don't do him
hey,
like that.
they ain't and see, you said something and you got me triggered. I wasn't even gonna say nothing about this, but yeah, they ain't gonna do them dirty like they did Sterling Sharp. So I'm not
Right,
even gonna get on that. But
right.
and that that's me being a Lions fan. I got to sit there and watch Sterling Sharp give us the business two
Hmm.
times a year. That dude, I'm gonna stop. He got in. He got in. I'm glad he got in. It's well deserved. There's other guys with short careers that got in that are well deserved as well too. So
Eli
resume.
get his
That's all.
turn.
Yeah,
He'll get his
he'll get
turn.
it. Yeah. All right. So I was thinking, you know, hey, I'm a little bit older and all that stuff. And you think about it all the time when you're getting older and things that you may used to do that you don't do now. And I came across social media, found me. I didn't find it, but things we used to do, but we don't do anymore being over 40, right? So this video popped up on social media and all I'm gonna say is that there's some things that I took for granted when I was young. Cause you just kind of forget, like, I'm gonna get older and it ain't gonna be there. It always ain't gonna be there. So in fun, this is not to make a joke, in fun, I want to share with you what I saw and get Mo. Let's talk about this. So this young lady that you're gonna see here is got her friends out there and they are running. Well, they're not running a 40, but they are over 40 running. So check this out.
Go.
Now that one ain't too bad. It's like, okay, you in there.
She tried.
On
Yeah.
your mark.
This
Get
one
set. Go. Keep going. Don't stop.
came out
Don't stop.
Bless
slow.
her heart. Bless her heart.
But look at the
Pop
arm.
them
Look at
arms.
the arm. But this last one, watch how she come off the block. Hey. I'm gonna go. And
Wow.
it's just funny because look, I want to give credit to the women out there because look, there's things. I got a basketball up here, Mo. Where's the basketball? Right there. I got a basketball. Bro, I haven't shot that basketball, I guarantee, in over 10 years. If I went out on the court right now, it's going to be nasty work, son. So, and I was fairly good. I could hold my own out on the basketball court, but being over 40, bro, like, nah, I ain't got it. So I love that the ladies went out there, man, just saying, hey, we're gonna do something we ain't did in a while because we used to do it all the time. Let me see what I still got. Let me see what I still got, out there. Because I probably would be just like them. Not like I think that was Sharkeisha or whatever. Maybe not Sharkeisha, but not that my arms ain't gonna be like that, but it ain't gonna be quite what it used to be. So I enjoy that thoroughly. Props to those ladies out there. And maybe I should do a video. Mo, what you think? Maybe I should do a video and,
Don't do
and, and
that.
go out there.
Please
No?
don't do that. Don't do that.
Do what?
Don't do that. If you got some
Maybe
old footage, play that, but don't do that. Don't do
maybe
that.
I'll go out there and run a 40. Yeah.
All
Or
right. All right. You
maybe
talk
I
to
will
talk to
go
your
out.
family first.
You know what? I'm gonna find a court around here. And maybe I need to find an older league, not none of these YNs that the kids be referring
Don't do
to.
it. Don't do it, JB. Don't do it. You got a family to raise. Don't do that.
You're right. You're right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But uh let's go ahead, get out of here before I say something, crazy. And ladies and gentlemen, uh next week we'll be back. We'll talk about more. Who knows what else we'll be talking about? I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more about football, but basketball's in full bloom. March Madness is going to be on. And I'm working on something. I'm working on something to bring to y'all. I can't tell you what it is right now, but I think you'll be interested in it. So stay tuned for that. I'm trying to get a special guest on the show. But for your man, Jelani JB Bodie, Mo running the background, and KC for today's show, we going to tell you two things as usual. Stay positive and push forward. And I'll holler at y'all later. God.